The Israel-Hamas Conflict, a historical tapestry, unraveling in 2023. In the annals of history, few conflicts have been as enduring and intricate as the one between Israel and Palestine. October 7th, 2023, marked a significant day in the chronicles of this long-standing strife. On this day, the skies over Israel darkened, not by nature, but by the deadly assault launched by Hamas. But to understand the significance of this day, we must journey back through history, unraveling the tapestry of events that have led to this moment. In a land where ancient olive trees bear witness to centuries gone by, where every stone and pathway tells a tale, lies the heart of the Israel-Palestine narrative. This isn't just any land. It's a place where history, faith, and identity intertwine, giving birth to stories of hope, love, conflict, and resilience. The Jewish connection to this region traces back to biblical times, a bond kept alive through stories, rituals, and traditions, even when many lived in distant lands. For them, it's the backdrop of their ancestral tales, a beacon calling them home. Parallel to this, the Palestinian Arabs, both Muslims and Christians, have their own deep-seated bond with the land. Generations have lived here, their lives echoing with the sounds of bustling markets, call to prayers, and church bells. It's where their ancestors are buried, where their children play, and where their future lies. As the pages of the 19th century were turning, a new chapter began with the rise of Zionism. Simply put, Zionism is a movement that sought to establish a national homeland for the Jewish people in Palestine, especially as anti-Jewish sentiments grew in parts of Europe. This call resonated with many Jews, leading to increased migration to Palestine. However, this influx wasn't just a matter of moving and settling. For the Palestinian Arabs, it signaled a shift. They saw the landscape changing, both literally and culturally. The once familiar terrain seemed to be reshaping, and with it, the balance of dreams and aspirations. The land that had been their home for centuries was now being shared, and the future seemed uncertain. When the British, with their global interests, stepped into the picture in the early 20th century, things became even more complex. The Balfour Declaration of 1917, which expressed British support for a Jewish homeland in Palestine, added another layer to the unfolding story. For many Palestinian Arabs, this felt like their voice was being overshadowed, their stake in their own land overlooked. As the world plunged into the chaos of World War I, the Middle East became a strategic chessboard. Britain, seeing its importance, made a promise in 1917, the Balfour Declaration. This document supported the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. But as the war ended, Britain found itself holding the mandate for Palestine, a responsibility that came with its own set of challenges. The Jewish population in Palestine grew, but so did the Arab resistance to this influx. Between the two world wars, ships and trains brought waves of Jewish immigrants to Palestine. Every arrival shifted the demographics, and with each shift, tensions simmered. The land remained unchanged, but the people and their dreams were evolving, often clashing. The British, trying to maintain control, issued the White Papers, limiting Jewish immigration. This was met with resistance from Jewish underground movements, who saw it as a betrayal. Then, the world was shaken by World War II. The Holocaust's horrors intensified the call for a Jewish state. As the war ended, more Jewish migrants, survivors of the Holocaust, reached Palestine, seeking refuge and a place to rebuild their lives. The world, having witnessed the atrocities of the Holocaust, became more sympathetic to the Jewish cause. 1947. The United Nations proposed a solution: a partition, a Jewish state, an Arab state. Jerusalem, with its deep religious significance, would be international. But partitions are never simple. In 1948, Jewish leaders declared the birth of a new nation, Israel. The neighboring Arab countries responded with an invasion. This was the beginning of the Arab-Israeli War, a conflict that would shape the region's future. Fast forward to 1967. The Six-Day War erupted, with Israel capturing the West Bank, Gaza Strip, Sinai Peninsula, and the Golan Heights in a preemptive strike. This wasn't just about territory. It was about survival, sovereignty, and the deep-rooted narratives of two peoples. The 1970s brought the Yom Kippur War, a surprise attack on Israel during a sacred Jewish holiday. This war sparked a renewed urgency for peace. The Camp David Accords, a testament to diplomacy, led to a historic peace treaty between Israel and Egypt. The late 80s and 90s saw two intifadas, or uprisings, by Palestinians against Israeli occupation. These were times of despair, but also of dialogue. The Oslo Accords of 1993 marked a hopeful step towards mutual recognition and peace. However, the path to peace was fraught with challenges. Settlements expanded, and the status of Jerusalem remained a contentious issue. The new millennium brought the Second Intifada, a violent uprising. In 2005, Israel withdrew from Gaza, but tensions remained high, with control over borders and the rights of refugees being major points of contention. Hamas, born in 1987, became a significant player, especially in Gaza. Their stance against Israel's existence fueled many of the conflicts in the region, which takes us to October 7, 2023. The assault by Hamas on this day wasn't arbitrary. It coincided with the 50th anniversary of the 1973 Yom Kippur War. This attack was a grim reminder of the deep-seated tensions between Israelis and Palestinians. Catalysts for this conflict included reported attacks by Israeli settlers on Palestinians, plans for new settlements in the West Bank, and a raid on the Al-Aqsa Mosque. But who were the people behind the attack on October 7th? What is Hamas? Hamas is a Palestinian political and militant group that originated during the First Palestinian Intifada in the late 1980s as an offshoot of the Muslim Brotherhood. Over the years, it has become a significant force in the Palestinian political landscape, especially after winning a majority in the 2006 Palestinian general elections. In recent times, Hamas's control of the Gaza Strip and its confrontations with Israel, including the significant escalation on the 7th of October, have placed it at the epicenter of the Israel-Palestine conflict, underscoring its relevance and influence in the region's dynamics. Today, the Israel-Hamas conflict is not just a series of isolated events, but a culmination of over a century of dreams, aspirations, disappointments, and struggles. The reasons for the conflict are multifaceted, with historical, political, and social dimensions intricately interwoven. As we stand at this juncture in 2023, the path to peace remains elusive, but the quest for understanding and dialogue continues. The Middle East, with its rich history and diverse cultures, has always been a melting pot of narratives. The Israel-Palestine story is one of its most poignant chapters. It's a tale of two peoples, both with deep-rooted connections to the land, both with stories of suffering and resilience. As we look to the future, the hope is for a solution that recognizes the rights, aspirations, and histories of both Israelis and Palestinians. A solution where both can coexist, not as adversaries, but as neighbors in peace. The journey through this historical tapestry has been long and complex, but it's essential to remember that at the heart of this conflict are people, with hopes, dreams, and a desire for a better tomorrow. As the world watches, the hope is for diplomacy to triumph over discord, for dialogue to replace destruction, and for the annals of history to record a tale of peace rather than perpetual conflict. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time. The Israel-Palestine conflict is a testament to the complexities of the human spirit and the enduring quest for a place to call home. As we move forward, let's carry with us the lessons of history and the hope for a brighter, more peaceful future.